today's society, more and more teenage girls are getting pregnant. Not only does the United States have the highest rate of teenage pregnancy, but according to statistics, an average of 75,000 teenage girls get pregnant each year. With such a high pregnancy rate among teens, one can't help but wonder what the cause is, and better yet, what is being done to prevent it. Some speculate that the reason behind the teen pregnancy dilemma is due to overall ignorance of the true facts. For this reason, schools have been implementing health and sexual education classes in their required course guidelines. In fact, from as far back as the 1800s, sexual topics have been lectured on in the school environment. For example, Sylvester Graham lectured on eating bland foods such as vegetables and graham crackers to prevent the dire consequences that came with engaging in sex or masturbation. As time progressed from the 1800s and prostitution and sexually transmitted diseases became more of a problem, reformers of the early 1900s began deliberating on the solution. So, in 1913, Chicago became the first city to enforce sexual education in high schools. Though this move was viciously attacked by the Catholic Church and is still being debated today, sexual education remains a part of most high schools' curriculum. But exactly what is being taught in these classes?
Throughout the school, Miss Bertoni is known for having class periods dedicated to the darker sides of sex. Students who have taken her class have attested to her showing pictures of diseased written genitalia for shock value. But with all the cases of teenage pregnancies, are these tactics even effective?
I think it's ineffective. I actually happen to be a gynecologist, and so a number of my patients are high school students, and they get some information but not the complete picture. I think it's very biased by the principals and the leadership of the school.
School teacher at a public high school, so I think that in general it's somewhat effective, but I don't think it's necessarily stopping teen pregnancy.
When I was in high school, it was pretty effective, so it definitely got the message across, and definitely do think.
What do you think are some reasons that girls are continuing to get pregnant even though they're having sex education?
I think it's just a lack of continuing the education. You have to continue it beyond like the high schools. You have to continue it in the households. You have to continue it out on the streets. You kind of have to enforce the issue, but I think there's a lack of. So until we basically extend the message, it will still continue to be a lack of education.
Schools aren't the only places attempting to lower the numbers of teenage pregnancies. There are other places that strive to help teenagers with their sexual problems and questions. One of these places is Planned Parenthood, which was founded in 1916 by a woman named Margaret Sanger. As a nurse, Sanger observed first-hand accounts of illnesses and deaths due to unwanted pregnancies and illegal abortions. For these reasons, Planned Parenthood was established to protect the right of women to choose whether or not they wanted to reproduce. In present day, Planned Parenthood still protects this right for women, but it is also a place of learning for men. Yet, with sexual education present in schools and available to the public, the fact still stands that teenage girls are continuing to get pregnant. A large number of people associate this with the media.
Do you feel like the media has anything to do with the rising number of teenage pregnancies in America?
Totally. I mean, the media plays a big part. I mean, you see sex sells. I mean, that's basically what we sell on TV. We sell it in magazines. We promote it, and so the media also, clamp down on there. It's also going to be a problem as well.
Absolutely. Well, not just media, but I think just television and social networking in general. I think it makes everything seem like there are no boundaries or limits.
Oh, definitely.
And how so?
They continuously talk about, the pregnancy and the STD rates or whatever, but you rarely see them, have a show that's talking about any sort of prevention whatsoever.
Teenage pregnancy really isn't all that it's cracked up to be. Statistics say that teenage mothers are much less likely than other girls to graduate from high school, and that only 1.5% obtain a college degree by the time they're 30. Also, teen mothers are more likely to end up on welfare. The rate of unmarried teen mothers that end up on welfare is 80%. There is also speculation that postpartum depression, a depression that can be achieved after giving birth, is more likely to strike in teenage mothers. In some severe cases, postpartum depression can lead to suicide. So why do adolescent girls risk their lives, in every sense of the word, to get pregnant? The troubles of pregnancy are affecting teens everywhere. Sexual education in schools and public organizations are attempting to solve the problem. Yet, the media seems to be counteracting these efforts.